is the most strange situation because of how it's handled. So the Pro Bowl was on Sunday. On Saturday, there was an altercation in a club in Las Vegas, which is a very big thing, big part of this whole situation is Las Vegas. And, but nothing was done on Saturday. Sunday, the Pro Bowl happens. All of the guys that are supposed to be there playing the Pro Bowl, and then following the Pro Bowl, they arrest Alvin Kamara on a battery charge from the night before. And I've been following this thing for a few days, just trying to get the details because I'm curious, because I feel like Alvin Kamara, is a good dude. Like, he's been in the league for a while now, and he doesn't really get into trouble. Well, apparently it wasn't just like he walked up and beat the hell out of somebody. It was like him and like 3 other guys. And they haven't said what exactly happened, but I guess this guy said something to Kamara, and they, I saw the picture of the guy. If you haven't seen it yet, the guy's face looks bad. He hurt him. He was in the hospital, but the police went to the hospital and talked to him Saturday, and then Sunday came to the NFL, the police, and told them what was happening. But because Kamara was being compliant, they were like, well, we'll let him play the Pro Bowl, and then we'll talk to him and take him in afterwards. All right, what do you think about that?
First of all, that shouldn't happen. They should have went and picked him up immediately. There should be no compromise to let him play in the Pro Bowl.
They suspected it was him the day before.
Why? The way I understand it, there's clear video that him and his boys were just beating this dude, and they got clear picture. So there shouldn't have been anything at all. The fact that they let him play in the Pro Bowl is purely a Las Vegas thing. It has to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so basically what happened was it started off as a verbal altercation, which is usually how anything like this ever happens. And Kamara hit the dude about 8 times. I don't know how many. I know his buddies started kicking the guy and stuff when he was down, but Kamara hit him like 8 times. Look, this is the whole point of me wanting to talk about this. This is stupid. But I think the whole thing is the city they're in, not what's happening. I think it's no Pro Bowl should be in Las Vegas. No football team should be in Las Vegas. Our fellow Raiders fan in here says, free us from Vegas, please. No more Vegas. But apparently this man called, and Shelby watched the thing about it with me today, called Kamara's friend ugly. And I think that was a lie because, they have to say something. And like, why would he just say, yeah, he called me ugly, so I beat the shit out of him? Me and 3 guys beat the shit out of him. Like, no. There's got to be more to it than that, first of all. But the fact that they knew they had, because apparently this happened Friday, but it was Saturday morning, like Friday night partying into the morning. And then at 5:50 p.m. Vegas time, they investigated in the hospital and found out that it was Kamara. And then so 24 hours after that, at 6:30, they played in the Pro Bowl. So this was like 36 hours after it happened, and they were already well aware. They went to the NFL, talked about it, and the NFL was like, oh, it's fine. You can just have him when we're done. We don't want you to make a scene, like, basically. Like, how ridiculous that is. And on the police statement that got released the first day that anything got released, it said urgent notice or something like that. I was like, there's nothing urgent about this whole situation. Like, they're taking their time.
Yeah, Las Vegas is just a mess. But Dave, I agree with you wholeheartedly. NHL has no incidents, and they have a team there, so that is true as well.
Well, it's because they're allowed to fight each other on the ice. Like, they don't do anything stupid outside of them because they get all their frustration out there.
Do you think that changes the whole motto thing? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Because obviously it doesn't.
That's what right here. That's what I'm saying. The players are trying to make a prison team at this rate. Like, who's gonna mess with Ruggs? Arnett? Kamara? like all these dudes in there together. Like nobody's gonna mess with them. Look, there should be, we should talk about Kamara as a player, and like how it's wrong, how we shouldn't have done it, how this seems like a privilege. I don't think this anything. I think any single NFL player could have done it, and the same outcome was going to happen. So, like, I don't think, yes, Kamara shouldn't have done it, first of all. But if you're going to go out partying, these dudes got a lot of testosterone. So you put the Pro Bowl with all of the best talent in the NFL, the most money to be made, the biggest millionaires in the NFL with the biggest egos, all in the worst city in the country.
Shelby's got me fired up. This furthers my thought that the NFL is just a reality show for all of us. For reals. I mean, come on. I got a lot of opinions, but a lot of times my opinions really push towards another topic that they shouldn't. So I really don't know how to address some of this stuff, but I will address it the same way I do like I did Ruggs. When these kids leave college, they get given money, they're given fame, and they have nobody there to tell them how to manage it. They have nobody there to reel them in like they did in college, like having a good coach in college. Therefore, mistakes are generally made. They can happen today, tomorrow, or 4 or 5 years. And a lot of things it depends on who you're running with, right? Alvin Kamara is running with his boys, and you know how people get when they get in groups. They get cocky, they get arrogant, they can get a little bit over the top with those things, and next thing you know, violence occurs. Every time I've ever went to the bar on a Saturday night, somebody got hit. I mean, it was always that way. So you know how it is in reality. You to make that tenfold when you add money and your buddies involved in it, and you're in a aggressive sport, and you're famous. I just think that it's a recipe for this kind of stuff to happen all the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, all this ego with the most money in the NFL in one place for a whole week, and you expected nothing bad to happen.
Look, and that's even the thing. It even happens on a smaller level. Look what happened in my basketball game last night. 5 guys fail a drug test, right? 5 guys fail a drug test, and guess what coach does? Sits their butts straight down, suspends them, does the exact right thing, and they sit there and they gave up a game they could have won. And I guarantee you they don't fail another drug test or they're off the team before it happens again. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, college is definitely 100% different. But look. I'm not talking about college at all. I'm talking about just the NFL. Because if you took a basketball team of college kids to Vegas, I don't think something this bad was going to happen.
No, because they got handlers. They got people watching out for them.
Yeah, they've got, essentially babysitters, because in the NFL, they are grown adults just like me, just like you, who have to go to work every day and do the right thing, follow the law. What does this say about the NFL, though?
I don't know, but to really quick to respond to Kathy, I'm not making excuses for them. I think people need to grow the hell up. I think people need to show responsibility, and for their position that they're in of fame and popularity, these guys should be examples for the youth of tomorrow, not furthering, the demise. I just don't. I think they need to grow up. I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just giving you a situation on how it happens and how it comes to be, because not a lot of people have restraint. Not a lot of people have self-control out there. So, and there's plenty of NFL guys that don't do this. We're talking about a fraction. Like, we're talking about less than 3% of the NFL players have these kind of incidents in a year. Considering all that money, that's probably pretty good. But especially when somebody high profile does it, then it's a big time story. And you know what? He's probably going to do jail time for this.
I mean, he's got a maximum of up to 5 years. And he had a $5,000 bond. He got released yesterday or Monday. And he's got a court hearing on like the 14th or something like this. Look, this is where I'm gonna tie away from the whole situation just a little bit. and it kind of goes along with Tim's comment as a Saints fan. He said, as much as I'm a Saints fan, I love Kamara, but he crossed the line. Look, the Ravens kept Ray Lewis. Like, this is nothing compared to that. Like, I'm not saying what he did was okay, but he will be back in the NFL, and they are not under contract in the offseason. Like, he comes back to work in July during training camp, so this is not during the season, so I don't think this should affect his play at all.
He'll still get a 6-game suspension.
Yeah, but I just don't think it should affect that at all. And the only thing that is, ridiculous about it is if it had just been Kamara who got in a fight with this guy in Vegas, we would have never heard about it. But since it was him and 3 other dudes that beat up one guy, that's why it's such a big deal. Because things like this happen in places like that all the time. And if he wasn't a celebrity and you just were in Vegas at the club and you saw that 4 dudes jumped one guy, you would walk away from it and not ever say anything about it again. And so I'm just like, yeah, Ray Lewis allegedly did something. Okay, that's fair. But I'm just saying, it's only because he's a celebrity that this is being taken the way it is. If he hadn't been a celebrity, no one would talk about it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just another Saturday night if it wasn't a celebrity. You're right. But the tolerating of the behavior, I you know what, when I see one of the guys that I like, if they do something like this, I just turn them off. I'm done. I'm instantly done because, I feel like it's a blessing to be paid that kind of money to play sports. I feel like there's a certain level of responsibility that goes with it. And the second you cross a line like that, I really don't care anymore. I don't want to watch you. I don't want to see you. I don't want my kids to see you.
I just it's such a hard topic because people are going to look at you the wrong way if you defend him. And what he did was not okay. You shouldn't, jump somebody. But we have not gotten Kamara's side of the story. We don't know what he actually said. What this guy actually, look at Myles Garrett with Mason Rudolph. They will never tell us what Mason Rudolph said to him, but we all know. We all know exactly what kind of comments came out of his mouth to get him to that point.
Yeah, you don't see people get that upset for calling. I mean, it had to be the worst.
That's what I'm saying.
Allegedly.
And yeah, allegedly, all this guy said was, "Hey, your friend's ugly." Kamara's not going to snap over that. No one cares. No one cares. I'm just saying, something had to have been said or happened. Kamara's been in the league for a while now. I'm saying, he stays out of trouble. So he loses it one time in the worst city ever to put all these, people together. And I can't be mad at him. It was wrong. But we're not talking about the other 3 guys that was with him. We're only talking about him because he's famous. That's what I'm saying. If Kamara was out of the picture and the other 3 guys just did it, and, we wouldn't have heard about it at all.
True. At the end of the day, it would be like that. So, yeah, and still, we only see what the news media reports. We don't know 100% of what's what. So, to pass judgment's wrong, too.
It's very easy to take his side, man. And it's very easy to take the guy he beat up side. But I just think this is a weird situation that we don't have all the details of. And the only reason it's relevant is because he makes, $15 million a year or whatever.
Well, you know what? I've never seen a guy get beat up in a bar for no real reason. Usually something happened and he did something to get hit. So
yeah, I mean, that's another one I'm very curious to hear about later on, because I just don't believe that Kamara just jumped him for no reason.
I agree. There's got to be something there, but you're only going to see the side of it that demonizes the player, whether it's deserved or not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've heard different stories already, but none of them have been the same, which is why I don't believe anything just about yet. And just the article I read where Kamara said the guy called him ugly, that just made me lose it. And I laugh ugly. But yeah, Tim, I saw that as well, but I also saw something that, Kamara put his hand on him because he started running his mouth too. You know, see, like I've heard we're going to hear a lot of stuff this week. It's just like, I know that people want to be mad at Kamara, and I'm mad at him that he did that to him because he had 4 guys do that to him. If it was just him, I don't think anyone was going to be throwing a fit.
Stay out of the bar. That's my advice, at least late at night.